If life feels a little chaotic right now, these 11 kitchen hacks are going to help you eat better, save time, and just make your week a whole lot easier. These are things that I personally do and have found super helpful, so today I'm sharing them with you. Starting with the first one, try ingredient prepping. Forget meal prepping entire meals. If you are someone who needs variety, this one is for you. This is something that I always preach because it's what I personally do, so you'll actually see a lot of it on this channel. And basically, it's just prepping some main components for your week that you're gonna be able to mix and match. So on your prep day, cook a grain, a protein, wash your greens, chop your veggies, throw in a sauce if you want to, and that's it. It is gonna be so much faster than doing a full meal prep, and this allows a lot of versatility throughout your week. So with these prepped ingredients, you can make things like stir fries, salads, bowls, wraps, pastas, etc. And this just makes everything feel so much fresher because you're not eating the same meal over and over. You can just throw together whatever you're in the mood for that day, and it still comes together really quickly. Next is to make soup starter freezer bags. Now this one feels like a cheat code. I can't believe I haven't been doing this sooner. Whenever I'm chopping onions or carrots for another recipe, I just chop a little bit extra and toss it into a freezer bag. So things that work really well in here are onion, carrots, celery, garlic, even things like fresh herbs. And then we are gonna flatten that out and freeze it. Of course, you could also pop it into those little ice cube trays as well. And then anytime you need a fast meal, just grab out your Ziploc and start sauteing some of those in a little bit of oil or broth. Add any other ingredients that you like, and boom, soup is happening with very little effort. Sauces are what make our food exciting. So if you only have time to do a quick prep, making a sauce is one of the best uses of your time. I personally like to prep something creamy, something tangy, and something herby or spicy. So for example, you could do a cashew cream sauce, which can be made both sweet or savory depending on what else you add to it. For my tangy, I usually like to do something like a lemony vinaigrette. And then for herby, I've been doing this chimichurri inspired sauce that is so delicious. I will leave the recipe for you guys down below in case you want to try it. And then throughout the week, just add these onto your salads or bowls, or even just as a veggie dip. And really, it's just the easiest way to make simple food taste like a whole production without the whole production. This next hack is a must if you've ever found limp or lifeless veggies in the back of your fridge. Next time you cut crunchy vegetables, carrots, celery, radishes, store them submerged in cold water in your fridge, and they will stay crisp for days. Plus, once they're cut, they're perfect for throwing into bowls, tossing into quick stir fries, or even just snacking on straight out of the container. And trust me, when healthy stuff is ready to go, you actually eat it. Okay, I know that this one looks like something fancy that you would just do for Pinterest or like a YouTube video, but these salads actually stay fresh for days, and that is because of how they're layered. So the secret to follow is this order: dressing on the bottom, then grains or beans, then your sturdy veggies like carrots or peppers, and then finally, your soft greens go on the top. This way, everything stays crisp, your greens won't get soggy, and you can make them on a Sunday and still be eating healthy by Thursday. Plus, you'll probably enjoy eating them more because they do look really fancy, and let's be honest, we eat with our eyes first. Okay, this next hack is for anyone who's ever stood in front of the fridge at 5 p.m. like, what am I supposed to make right now for dinner? But before we jump in, a quick thank you to America's Test Kitchen for sponsoring today's video. Using the America's Test Kitchen app has honestly saved me so much time and mental energy. No more racking your brain about what to make. Just open the app and look through their vegan recipes. They have so many choices already in there, and start cooking. Some of the recipes even have video where you can follow along, which is so helpful. Plus, the recipes are all tested very thoroughly already, hence the name America's Test Kitchen. So they are going to work the first time, which means way less food waste and way less frustration because you don't have to guess or experiment in your recipe. They also explain why each recipe works, which actually makes you a better cook without even trying because they teach you all of their pro techniques. And then over time, you'll actually start to understand those techniques better yourself. So that means faster and easier cooking for you. So yeah, if you want a hack that saves time, saves brain cells, and just makes weeknight cooking a whole lot easier, the ATK app is a great one. And right now they are offering a very generous 30-day free trial. So go check it out after this video. You can peruse it, see if you like it. I will leave all of the information in the description box down below. I started doing this when I realized we all tend to ignore leftovers after like day 2. So now whenever I make soups, stews, beans, rice, anything like that, I freeze half immediately. Not on day 4 when I'm like, oh, we didn't touch that? No, right away. And that is gonna make sure it is being frozen when it is most fresh. And then on a chaotic day, I have a whole meal waiting in the freezer for me, or at least a simple side that can be transformed almost instantly. If you're already going to turn on the oven, make it count. I have recently gotten into sheet pan meals. They are low effort, minimal cleanup, and surprisingly tasty. But even before the sheet pan craze, I would often do our veggies in the oven sheerly out of convenience. And let me tell you, if you've already got your cutting board out, your knife, your veggie peeler, it is almost no extra effort to cut some extra veggies for a second sheet pan, and yet you get double the food that way. And as a bonus, I found that most veggies roast at the same temperature, so you can even mix and match ingredients here. For example, potatoes on one and mixed veggies on the other, or even something like tofu on one sheet pan and sweet potatoes on the other. This hack takes almost no extra effort, and roasted veggies are honestly one of the easiest way to sneak more plants into your meals. This next hack is honestly so fun and so practical. Basically, if you have any herbs, pesto, tomato paste, curry paste left over after a recipe, you can turn them into little flavor bombs by freezing them in ice cube trays. And you can mix it with a little bit of olive oil if you want, but you don't have to. They'll freeze and work just fine either way. And then later, toss a cube into anything bland, rice, soup, beans, and instantly you've got something packed with flavor that tastes like you spent a lot of time on it when really all you did is reuse your leftovers. Seriously, these little cubes are going to be your new secret weapon in the kitchen. They make even the most basic meal taste extra special. If you want salads ready in minutes, but are tired of wasting money on those pre-washed store-bought packs, this one is for you. Next time you buy lettuce or greens from the store, here is what you're gonna do. Wash your greens in cold water, and then we're gonna dry them just slightly. You can use a salad spinner here, or even just pat them dry with a towel. And pro tip, try and keep the greens as whole as possible, because tearing them too early will make them go soggy faster. And then you're gonna wrap them while they are still slightly damp like this in a tea towel or kitchen towel, and we're gonna pop that whole bundle into a Ziploc bag and then into the fridge. And that little bit of extra moisture is going to keep your leaves from wilting, but it's not so much that your lettuce is going to get soggy or slimy. This method keeps my greens fresh for at least 6 to 7 days, and I can grab them out anytime I need for salads, bowls, or wraps. And honestly, this is one of those hacks that seems small, but saves you so much frustration throughout the week. Having greens prepped and ready to go makes tossing together a healthy meal so much faster. Now, as a little bonus hack for your greens, if you find that somehow, even with your best intentions of eating them, they have gotten a little wilted, trust me, it happens to everyone. Here's what you can actually do to revive them. All you need to do is take a big bowl and fill it with cold water. And I mean like super cold. Sometimes I even drop a couple of ice cubes in here to make sure that it is very, very cold. And then we are gonna submerge the greens and let them soak for around 15 or 20 minutes. And what you will see start to happen looks like magic. Your greens will transform from dull and lifeless to vibrant and crunchy again. They are now ready to use and ready to enjoy. This is a big one for vegans and honestly for anyone who wants convenience without eating the same thing all week. Here's the idea. Pick your protein, tofu, tempeh, chickpeas, whatever you like, and cook a big batch in a versatile way. For tofu, you can cube and roast or bake it with a neutral seasoning like salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Chickpeas I like to roast with a little bit of olive oil and spices. Tempeh, you can just steam it or lightly pan fry it. And then once they're cooked, store them in the fridge and they can be used in different ways throughout the week. For example, that tofu could be used in a salad on Monday, tacos on Tuesday, and a pasta on Wednesday. Same protein, totally different meals. And pro tip, you can switch up the flavor or cooking method for each meal so that it tastes like a different protein each time. And that way you get the convenience of cooking once, but without the boredom of repeating the same lunch and dinner all week. It's a huge time saver, keeps meals interesting, and makes sure you're getting a little bit of protein each day without overthinking it. And now to keep the momentum going, I'm gonna leave a couple more tip videos right here with even more simple tricks you can start using today.